draw and explain the basic components of an IC engine. Nowadays, internal combustion engines have become an important part of our daily lives, as most of the vehicles, be it bus, car, truck, motorbike, or an IC engine. Let us consider a motorbike and try to analyze the basic components of its IC engine. The basic components of this IC engine are cylinder block, cylinder, piston, piston rings, combustion chamber, inlet and exhaust manifold, inlet and exhaust valves, spark plug, connecting rod, crankshaft, camshaft, gauge pin, cam. The schematic diagram of this IC engine can be shown as. Now let us discuss each of these components one by one. Cylinder block is the main supporting structure for the various components in an IC engine. It is usually made by casting alloy steel or cast iron. Cylinder head is mounted using bolts and studs on this cylinder block. Then water jackets or cooling fins are provided as per the cooling requirements. The bottom portion of the cylinder block is known as crankcase, which serves as sump for lubricating oil. Cylinder is the cylindrical vessel in which the piston makes a reciprocating motion. It is inside the cylinder block. Due to the reciprocating motion, a varying volume is created in the cylinder. This volume is filled by the working fluid, which is subjected to thermodynamic processes like compression, expansion, etc. Piston is the cylindrical component fitted in the cylinder, which forms the moving boundary of the combustion chamber. It has little slots cut on its boundary for fitting piston rings. Piston is the first link in transmitting the thermal force to the output shaft. It fits perfectly in the cylinder without any space for gas leakage. Piston rings are fitted into the slots on the piston to provide a proper sealing between piston and the cylinder wall, thus preventing the leakage of combustion gases. These rings are properly lubricated for smooth movement of the piston, despite the tight fitting. Combustion chamber is the space enclosed in the upper part of the cylinder above the piston. In this space, the working fluid undergoes all the thermodynamic processes and the thermal energy is released. This released thermal energy pushes the piston and hence produces the mechanical work. Inlet manifold is the pipe which connects the intake system to the intake valve and serves as a passage for entrance of air or air-fuel mixture. Exhaust manifold is the pipe which connects the exhaust system to the exhaust valve and serves as the passage for the exhaust gases. Intake and exhaust valves are the mushroom-shaped stoppers, which are properly timed using a camshaft for regulating the charge coming in the cylinder and discharging the products of the combustion from the cylinder. Spark plug is one of the most vital parts in a spark ignition engine. It is located at the cylinder head and provides the initial spark to initiate the combustion process in SI engines. In the case of CI engines, spark plugs are replaced by fuel injectors. Connecting rod is the interconnecting rod, which connects the piston to the crankshaft, thus transmitting the forces from the piston to crankshaft. Its small end is connected to the piston and the big end is connected to the crankshaft with the help of a crank pin. Crankshaft converts the reciprocating motion of the piston into a useful rotary motion of the output shaft. It is covered by the crankcase and is the first link to the rotary output. Gudgeon pin is the pin that connects the small end of the connecting rod to the piston. Camshaft and valve springs control the opening and closing of the intake and exhaust valves. The camshaft is driven by the crankshaft through timing gears. Cams are the internal parts of the camshaft and are designed to open at the correct time and for the necessary duration. They actuate the push rods for opening the valves against the force of the valve spring. Thus, we can summarize the description of the basic components of an IC engine as